Get you in, 5%.
25, take it or leave it.
Welcome to the Dallas Buyers Club.
You treating these people?
They're treating themselves. Well, I ain't selling drugs, I'm selling membership.
Walker, Dorsett, these are patients.
Yes, sir.
They're also the names of players on the Dallas Cowboys.
That's a hell of a coincidence.
What the hell is it?
I have a court order permitting us to confiscate any and all non-FDA approved supplements.
We need a new supply.
Check Amsterdam, China, and Israel.
Keep doing business with you.
Why are we here?
Nice restaurant, beautiful woman. That's where I feel like a human again.
We've calmed down about American Hustle.
No.
No, we haven't, but we're gonna put it aside. Disney Vault.
Yeah.
We're locking in the Disney Vault. We're gonna move along to Dallas Buyers Club, which is nominated for 6 awards. Matthew McConaughey in a leading role, Jared Leto in a supporting role, film editing, makeup and hairstyling, best original screenplay, and Best Picture. So, the synopsis, I suppose, briefly, is that Matthew McConaughey plays a douchebag, homophobic guy. He's a rodeo hustler. Yeah, he's just like all swaggery and all that.
You sound ridiculous saying that word.
Me? Swagger?
We do. We both do.
That's okay.
But
I don't care.
The whole point of the story is once he's diagnosed with AIDS and how he deals with it and how he meets Jared Leto's character Rayon and how they kind of go on this journey to try to help people who are dealing with this and aren't relying on the drugs that the hospitals are giving them. And it is a very emotional story and it's poignant and it touches you, but I found myself not caring about it as much as I did initially after I walked out of the theater. As time passed, I kind of forgot about it, which surprised me.
It had one of those things, like, it had that really powerful effect, like, when you finished watching it, and, yeah, it doesn't stick with you the way that 12 Years a Slave does.
I think maybe it almost overshot the time it needed to tell the story. I think it's another one, again, I've said this about a couple of movies this year, I think, it was a good movie. I think it could have benefited from some editing in the same way that The Wolf of Wall Street could have, where it didn't need to be as long as it was. Or maybe it could have been trimmed if you didn't need certain bits.
I agree. However, I will say that one of the things I was going to say that I really, really liked about this movie in its first act or so, I had thought watching it because I didn't know the backstory behind it. It has this thing where, when a scene ends or whatever after he gets his diagnosis and he's given 30 days to live, initially, it starts kind of counting down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And I was really liking, towards the beginning, in the first act of the movie, there was some really, really good editing that was actually, really kind of helping tell the story and get its point across. Yeah. But you're right that as the movie kept going along and the longer that he was living, it kind of lost
that structure that it had that really benefited the movie.
It had something going for it in the way that it was being edited that was great, that I actually noticed as I was watching it. And then I got so involved with the characters as the movie was going along that I stopped paying attention. And you're right, that it did kind of stop doing that. Yeah, it was long.
Yeah, again, it's not the how long it is that bothers me. It's that if it seems unnecessary. Mm-hmm. If they could have told the story in a shorter period of time, it might have worked better. But that's just me. I know some people had truly very emotionally charged reactions to this film, understandably. But I for some reason I kind of walked away maybe not as connected as some other people were.
Yeah, I thought the writing was excellent.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too, especially.
I don't know how long the initial screenplay was, but I thought all the dialogue and all the character establishment was excellent, really well done.
Yeah, and it was all, and the emotional beats were all well earned. You expected them to come, and they did, and it worked. Again, Rayon and Woodruff's relationship. That really did build to that really is it was never over sentimental.
No, it wasn't, and it was really some excellent character growth for both of them. Really, for both.
Almost a deconstruction for Rayon, though. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. I don't even want to spoil how that turns out.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess to segue into the acting,
Yeah, definitely.
I know Jared Leto is pretty set to win.
He's pretty
at
much
this
locked
point.
in, and I think it's deserving in terms of supporting actor parts.
I do. I probably would rather see somebody else. And I am of the mindset, and I know there's a lot of people out there in the LGBTQ community that agrees. I think a transgender woman could have played this role, and it would have been fine. And I think that would have been revolutionary, and I think that would have been wonderful. And I do think part of his acclaim right now still is the shock value for the weight loss and the fact that he went through so much to play a transgender woman. And I don't think it's brave to do that if you're a straight man. Like, I think it would have been braver for the movie just to cast somebody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am kind of annoyed on that.
Reallocates the brevity and the efforts.
I've never thought, I always hate it when, like, people are, like, given such, like, high accolades because they're playing gay characters. I'm like, that's not brave.
I know. Well,
you're not living it.
I know.
So, but I mean, so that is part of my hesitation to really give him as much credit. But also, while I do think it's good, I think it relied like heavily on the charm of the character too.
On Rayon.
Yeah, like I think the character was super charming written. So like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think Jared Leto was amazing.
I do see what you mean. As I was watching it though, I found that more than that, I was so focused on the character that McConaughey was playing that I found Rayon as a character just kind of like, obviously he was going through his, deconstruction, like his changes as a character, but he was kind of like a segue, kind of like a gateway for Matthew McConaughey's performance to kind of like be like this kind of like acceptance,
Yeah. No, I do. I can see where that would be the case.
And I know a lot of people are saying that Matthew McConaughey is locked in for this win as well. And while he did an excellent job, I mean, and everyone's kind of like gung-ho about his acting revival, and he's doing fine. I've never been a fan of him, but I will admit that I thought he was great in this, but I really do still think that Chiwetel Ejiofor,
he still deserves it more.
He absolutely deserves
it. And I'm going to say something similar that I said for Bradley Cooper in the American Hustle video, is that if he was to be nominated for anything this year, I would have preferred it to be Mud. Because, again, like Jared Leto's character, I think his character in Dallas Buyers Club does rely heavily on the McConaughey charisma, the kind of, like, southern, whatever, like, I don't know, twang to him, like, sure, there are emotional moments that are, like, heartbreaking, and they're done really well, but with Mud, I guess, it was more of a character, you know? It was a performance that I hadn't necessarily seen from him before, whereas, like, bits and pieces of Dallas Buyers Club you could have taken from other performances. Obviously not.
And I feel like a lot of people are giving him credit for his weight loss too.
They are.
Obviously
and
not
again,
as much, but that's the point I was trying to make with Christian Bale too. They're just like the complete opposite.
Yeah, no. So I don't know. I just and the directing, I guess, he wasn't nominated for Best Director. No. But I am interested in it because I've seen one of his other movies called C.R.A.Z.Y. And
you said that was one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, it stuck out to me too because of the directing, and he had this very singular style that we see in this movie for the first half hour, and then it kind of starts to trickle away. So I'm interested just that the movie got so many nominations. It got a Best Picture nom, and it's surprising almost that he didn't get a director, since the director was kind of one of the more surprising nomination lists this year because it didn't include the people we thought it would. But I don't know. You don't think it has a chance for winning Best Picture, right?
Honestly, I don't even know at this point.
It's still pretty much a three-way race.
Yeah.
But people thought maybe because it has the two actors.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. The only thing I think is a lock for them to win is Jared Leto.
Yeah, and honestly, I haven't even been thinking about things in terms of how the Academy's gonna see it. It's more like, oh, what would I like to see? Totally. But yeah.
That's very rarely what we want to see.
Very, very rarely, as we've kind of complained about before. So that's pretty much it then. That's our videos for week 3 of the Young Folks Oscar Buzz. You can follow us on Facebook and on our Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @TYF Official. My Twitter handle is at evgriff42, and
Mine is Allison AJ.
cool. So we have Twitters, and talk to us about your Oscar picks because it's coming up soon.